this lesson, we're going to look at some more multi-step equations, adding a few more steps here. So if we look at this example 12 here, we see on the right-hand side, there's two sets of parentheses. Not to get too excited about, we just take them one step at a time. On the left-hand side, nothing to do. I'm sorry, speak again. We can combine our like terms here, but we'll come back to that in just a second. Okay, so first let's go ahead and we're going to distribute in this first set of parentheses, the -6 to get us -36. Negative times a negative is going to give us a positive 36x. Then we move to the next set. The negative is part of the 3. The sign in front goes with the number. So we're going to distribute that -3 to both terms. We're going to get a -24x, and we're going to get a positive 18. Great. Now we've got all the distributing done. Let's combine like terms everywhere we see them. So -7 and positive 1 is -6x on the left side is equal to, over here, I see 36x and -24x. So that's a 12x. Then we look at our constants. -36, positive 18, so that's -18. Great. Let's get all of our x's over to the left-hand side. So let's subtract 12x from both sides. Notice that even though we have x's on both sides, we don't want to move them to the right-hand side because we only have a constant over there. So that would be making extra steps for ourselves. So even though we are going to end up with negative x's, it's the way to get the x's separated from the constants. So we have -18x is equal to -18. Great. Divided by -18 on both sides. And we get that x is equal to 1. Great. So we had to distribute twice, but not a big deal. Okay, let's move down and look at example 16. Okay, in example 16, again, we see two sets of parentheses. In the first set, we're going to distribute 8 to both terms, and we have 8n plus 16. Now in the second set, it might be a little bit confusing, like, oh, do we not have to distribute? Actually, we still do. There is a -1 right there. When there's no number, we know it's a 1. Since there's a negative sign, it's a -1 that is distributing in here. Okay, so we're going to end up with a positive 2n, a -7, and then on the other side we have our 5n, and might as well combine these, plus 9 over here. Okay, on the left-hand side, we can combine like terms. We have an 8n and a 2n, so we have 10n, and we have 16 and -7, so we have plus 9. And that's going to equal 5n plus 9. Great. All right, so here we do have a choice. Which way do we want to move our variables, to the left or the right? I'm going to move them over to the left because that's going to give us positive n's. All right, so subtracting 5n is going to leave us with 5n plus 9 equals 9. So, okay, subtract 9 from both sides, and we get 5n equals 0. Now, don't confuse this with a special case. 0 is a number, so we continue to move forward. We divide by 5, and I know this looks a little bit unusual. It doesn't happen as often, but we just get 0 divided by 5, and we can do that. 0 divided by 5 is 0. N equals 0 is your answer, and that's allowed. I know we're feeling a little bit uncomfortable with that, but that's our answer.